While South Africans battle through unrest and the final days of apartheid, Jeffrey Greenbaum battles through his raging hormones and the final days of high school. Wondering what I'm talking about, TMS fam? Well, let's take a trip down memory lane. The film Just Now Jeffrey is the first of its kind, an edgy coming-of-age comedy set in South Africa in the 1980s. The film has an all-South African cast and crew, and it has been selected at 3 international film festivals in Beverly Hills, Toronto, and Poland. And in studio with me this morning is co-writer and co-director Brett Morris, and in the lead role as Jeffrey is Julian Robinson. Hello guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us. Yeah.
This film is so exciting. I watched the trailer yesterday and I cannot wait for the movie. But Brett, I also must start with you. What was your experience like co-writing and co-directing this particular movie?
Yeah, sure. It was a hell of a journey. Began probably almost 4 years ago now. And lifelong friend Hilton Tenenbaum and myself started actually during COVID.
Okay.
And we chipped away at the script for a long time, and then, yeah, it was a process of raising the money and then eventually getting the production going and putting together this amazing cast and crew that ended up finally with us being in theatres tomorrow.
Yes.
After a good 3 or 4 years journey. Yeah, it's been incredible.
And a 3 to 4 year journey to less than 24 hours that people is going to see this movie. Now, Julian, I want to get to you. In the movie, you portray more or less the age than you are now, right?
Right.
But I suppose that is what acting is about, because you are now playing a teenager in the 80s. Now, what was that experience like?
It's funny how similar, we really are. Even though, the time frame is so completely different, you can really take a lot of inspiration from your own life because the themes are universal and they never change.
That's very, very true. And Brett, I want to talk to you about the characters. Now, Julian, I can't talk to you about the characters because you're one of them, but amazing cast members. I mean, you've got Rob van Vuuren in there. You also have Dion Lawrenson, who's an incredible actress. We know her from Siebendelaan back in the day, but she's also the Dean of AFDA in Cape Town. So how did you guys go about putting the cast together for this movie?
Yeah, the casting was an incredibly detailed process. It was we put out actually a nationwide casting, especially for the younger lead roles, and we got incredibly lucky. I mean, to have someone like Julian, who kind of grew up in front of the camera in the lead role, he was absolutely amazing. And we were nervous about this because, to carry off, to be able to carry the emotional weight of this movie is a hell of a job. And Julian, in the middle of his matric and exams, pulled it off. He was amazing. He was an incredible pro, along with his co-star Dino Vavitsanidis as his best friend Brad. But Jules was amazing and showed up every day, news lines, was an absolute pro, and really pulled it off, which we were incredibly nervous about. And I might add, ended up with 4 distinctions for his matric.
No way. And I just really actually wanted to chat about that because you matriculated by Hoërskool Help Mekaar in Johannesburg, right? Now, what was that experience like writing your end exams? And even before you get to the exams, you have the script to learn and then go write exams. What was it like getting a matric certificate, but then also starring in the lead role in a movie?
Yeah, I didn't make things easy for myself.
No.
But it's really cool because my high school was so accommodating about it, and they were actually really understanding, and they knew that they knew the set time that it would be, and they knew that I would be able to manage it, or they helped me manage it. So they had systems in place and had teachers call me, in between shoot days or whatever, to check up on me, and I had a set amount of work. But it also did help that we did a lot of the work in grade 11. So yeah, it was tough, but I don't know how I managed. I don't know how I did it.
And you did with 4 distinctions. And I want to talk about your previous work as well. I mean, you are also in Binnelanders, which is an Afrikaans medical drama on TV, and you were in an Afrikaans kind of double medium high school, and now it's this proper English film.
Right.
So I think for young actors, what advice can you give them to just be kind of diverse in what your offering is? Because you can work in Afrikaans and you can work in English.
Yeah, I do think it does help a lot if you work in both mediums. For advice, I'd say just work on those English accents and listen to your mom. Because that's how I got my English accent. I listened to my mom. So yeah, just keep working on those accents. I really feel like that's important, especially getting a proper English accent. I think it's called the North Atlantic English accent.
Oh, is that so?
I don't know what it's called.
Okay, I'll go research it. Now, Brett, when people go to cinemas tomorrow, the 3rd of May, what can they expect from this movie?
Well, for us, it was really about creating a film that people would enjoy. We really want to entertain, and we're hoping that people will have a lot of fun and enjoy it in the cinema, which is something we were quite excited about. We decided to release the movie only in cinemas, which is quite unusual these days. People are used to sitting on their couches kind of being tube-fed content, and we wanted to take a step back and recreate that really magical experience of going to a movie with your friends, with your family, on a date. So we're hoping that people will get out there, get off the couch, go watch it, and experience the real magic of the cinema. And that's why we created this movie. We wanted to really have a cinematic experience for people to enjoy.
And I believe it is going to be a cinematic experience, but I also want to talk about the time that the movie is playing out in the 80s. And I think now, with all of these international bands also visiting South Africa, they're all bands from the 80s as well, bands from the 90s. Yeah. Thrift stores are in now. We are wearing these colored kind of jackets and stuff, right?
Yeah,
exactly. So a lot of people can feel that, oh my word, I'm actually now living into this 80s era that I'm dressing in. What was your reason to let this film play out in the 80s?
Well, for us, it was about telling an authentic story. We wanted to depict our youths growing up in the late 80s in South Africa. We found that South Africans are generally painted with the same brush. And we wanted to show all of the sort of nuances and complexity of growing up in South Africa in the 80s, even though it was a very tough time. And it was on the cusp of the end of apartheid. So for us, it was really about being true to the era. And that was important for us, which wasn't easy. We picked the most difficult thing to do, comedy with young people during the 80s. So it wasn't easy to pull off, but we had an incredible crew, and we got quite lucky with a lot of the locations, and really just bringing out authentic wardrobe and making it really true to the era. That was important for us.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Julian and Brett, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Less than 24 hours and the movie is out, and I hope that a lot of people flock to cinemas tomorrow. We've heard a lot of things about cinemas in the last couple of months, but while it is open, go watch the movie. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
so
having
much.
us.
And this movie gives us a voice to those who were brought up in a crazy era. So get the popcorn ready, as you heard it from the co-writer and the co-director and the actor themselves. I can't wait to see this movie, and it is in cinemas tomorrow.